What's up everybody, it's the Lego Link here, and we'll go back to another Lego review. In today's video, we're taking a look at set 4842 Hogwarts Castle from Lego Harry Potter. This set, released in 2010, and has 1,290 pieces and 11 minifigures. Now this set is pretty expensive on the aftermarket, but you can get it used for about $100, or new, though in sealed box is going to cost you probably like $200 or $300. But this set was kind of expensive back in the day at $130. And this is, I believe, the 4th representation of Hogwarts made in Lego. And yeah, this is with the 2010 style of sets, so it kind of matches the theme of other castle sets around that period. And this castle isn't really based on any specific movie on brick set. It's labeled as Deathly Hallows, which I guess would make the most sense based off the minifigures, but the set has references to all 7 movies or so there's no really specific movie tie-in with this, which is, I mean, it makes sense because it's a whole Hogwarts castle, so there shouldn't really be a tie-in, should be based off all of them. But yeah, this is going to be a long video, so get out some popcorn or food and sit back and relax as we take a journey through this magnificent Hogwarts Castle set. Okay, so the first figure included is Filch, Mr. Filch, Argus Filch, whatever you want to call him by, who is the caretaker at Hogwarts, and this is a pretty cool figure. I think this was the first ever Filch ever made, and there's been a whole version of him ever since. But he has a lantern built from a few small pieces, as well as a key. And he has some nice printing on the legs with a belt and a chain with a few keys. He has his torso with a gray jacket and some tie printing underneath. Includes his long silver gray hair, which is the same mold as Dumbledore's. And then he has a very angry face with a lot of stubble. And it makes sense because he's always angry at the students and hates them. And he also includes his cat, Mrs. Norris, in the set, which is a nice little touch. Another character in the set is Professor Flitwick, and this is a pretty interesting design for his character. I believe this is also the first version of him ever made. So he includes a nice little torso with some buttons and a bow tie, black coat, and then he has a face with a very large beard, glasses, and he includes a piece for a wand, and he has short legs, plus this nice little bowl cut hairpiece in dark brown, and it's a pretty nice looking figure, but there would be better versions of him coming in later years. Another professor in the set is Professor McGonagall, and she is a brilliant looking figure here. Includes the slope piece with a great printing, and that printing continues into her torso, just that nice lime green and dark green robe with the flowers or design along it, and she has like a little ring to keep her cloth piece in place, the cape. She has a smile with some wrinkles and gray eyebrows to show her age, and then she comes with this nice dark green hat for her wizard or witch hat, and she's just a pretty cool figure overall. We also get Professor Snape in the set. I think this is one of the best versions of him ever made. The torso is not the greatest design, it's just pretty much all black with a few buttons and stuff. He does include a cape and a black wand piece, and this hair, which has been used on him pretty much since 2007. And the face is what I think is the best, because I think it really captures Alan Rickman's face from the movie, with just that sneer and the expression of hatred towards Harry. But yeah, it's a pretty cool looking figure overall, probably one of the best Snape ones out there. We also get Dumbledore in this set, which is a pretty neat inclusion, and he's in his pale blue robes. These robes were used on a 2005 figure. I don't know if they're updated for a set, but moving on to the head before we get back to robes. Well, he does go with his tan piece, which I believe is supposed to represent the Elder Wand, and then his head has the same hair as Filch, but it connects up to this beard to create his long hair and beard from the movie. But underneath, we do have a face print. So he has some glasses, but he's kind of like worried a bit. The other side of his face doesn't have glasses and is more upbeat. And you can see that nice torso print underneath the back as well. So this is definitely one of the best Dumbledore figures from the early eras of Harry Potter. One of the golden trio is included in the set, which is Hermione Granger. And she's pretty simplistic. This figure does appear in a few other sets. She just has this Gryffindor torso with the tie, the badge, and the stripe across. She goes a brown piece for a wand, this nice hair piece with like the braid around the middle, and she has a smiling face on this side, and then a more angry face on the other side. Of course, no Harry Potter set would be complete without the man himself, Harry Potter. And the set, of course, does not skimp out on that. It includes the same torso as Hermione, and he has the same wand piece, but he includes this broom, which is a black broom with a silver cone piece attached to represent his firebolt. And his face has a smile on this side, and a more angry face on the other, with that iconic older style of his hair. We also get two of these Dementors in the set, and these are pretty nice designs. They're standing on this clear round plate, so it looks like they're floating, and they have this little peg piece, which is basically their legs, and also helps them be elevated. Then underneath we have the skeleton torso and droid arms in gray. Then this nice cloth piece with rips and tears to show like the old robes of them. Then this little cool face, which has the open mouth for the Dementor's kiss, plus some other details on the side. And then the other side you can basically kind of turn around so it looks like there is no open mouth on it, which kind of looks pretty creepy actually. And then we can turn it back though, but there is two of them in this set, which is great. These are definitely pretty cool looking figures. And before we head on to the last figure, I forgot to mention this with Harry, but he does come with this nice cloth piece, which is supposed to represent his invisibility cloak, and you can put it on him and it looks pretty nice. I forgot his hair detached, but yeah, he can be hidden underneath the cloak. So this is a pretty nice little cloth piece with a few sparkles and stuff. And the final figure in this set is He Who Must Not Be Named himself, Voldemort. And this figure is the Voldemort from the 2010 to 2011 era of Harry Potter. Includes a black cape, torso with some green mixed in with black, a white wand piece, and of course that creepy smile with the yellow teeth, all without eyes and like that. I think he's a nice inclusion, but he was supposed to originally be green robed, which I think would have been better, and would have made the other figures of this more exclusive to their own sets. Here we have the full castle, and before we take a look at each building, I just want to mention how each of the part of the castle is connected by some Technic pins. So you can see in between each part there is these rotating things which you can, or they basically can allow you to maneuver the castle any way you like. So you can go like that, you can move this here. It just creates a lot of endless possibilities for how you want your castle to be set up. There's many ways, but I'm not gonna waste time showing all of them. But anyways, some ones, like this one, has this little nice window in between, and I won't go over them, but they can be detached if you pull hard enough, and hopefully don't break anything in the process. Let's just try with this one first. Alright, so yeah, you can pull them off, and yeah, we'll do that and take a look at each building separately. The first building, I believe it's supposed to be the astronomy tower, but I'm not entirely sure. It's just this small kind of castle end looking piece of the Hogwarts Castle. But yeah, it's a pretty nice design for it. There is like a arch design for the front, where there's arch here, and then the wall is back of it. But yeah, there is a lot of tan and dark tan, plus some windows included. And I really like how there is this axe cross thing right here, which kind of just trying to be like a coat of arms or something like that. But as you can see, the rest of the walls are not entirely filled in, and that's because it's supposed to allow you access to the inside, which is what we'll take a look at now. The inside has 2 floors, so we'll take a look at each floor separately. So the first floor has some torches on the sides, but the main thing is this vanishing cabinet. Now you can take it off, as there is a little platform here, and this is a pretty nice design for it. We have basically the back of it, which has a bunch of these hinges, which connect to these 2 doors, creating them at this little angle. There's a lot of these silver studs for like the design of it. And then you can open it and you see there's room inside to put item if you like. But yeah, it's a neat reference to the 6th movie Harry Potter, and that's kind of why it's based off all the movies, like I said at the beginning. So the next part of the set is the restricted section of the library, and there's supposed to be another handcuff on the other side, so just imagine that there. But this has a neat feature where we have this little table build or bookshelf build, and these 2 glass doors can slide over, and the handcuffs are supposed to kind of keep them in place, but you can always take them off. And also there's supposed to be a key on this one to like act as the access point for this. But inside there is 3 just normal brown books with nothing in them, so they're all the same mold. So yeah, they just kind of sit in there, locked up behind the case to represent the restricted section where you can't get these books because they're restricted. And up top, we have the platform for the castle. So we have this nice little telescope attached to this axle, so you can move this telescope up and down, and you can have a figure attached to that lever to act like they're using it. And we have this rat here, which I'm guessing is supposed to represent scabbers, or at least be a reference to that. So the tallest building in the set is this Gryffindor common room tower, I believe it's supposed to be, which is supposed to kind of represent that tower next to the Great Hall. And actually it's attached to the Great Hall, kind of representing that. But you can see there's basically 3 sections. There's one part at the bottom, and they all use these nice curved pieces with stickers of bricks, and there's windows in the middle of each. And then the next one is actually a bit smaller than the bottom layer, with the same kind of window design, and the windows kind of go on the sides for the next 2 layers, which is nice. And then the top layer is actually bigger than the second layer, which creates a nice little architectural design. And you can see there's this thing at the front, which we'll come back to later. And then at the top, of course, we have this specially molded roof piece in green that I think appeared all the way back in the first Harry Potter set. There's a few green slopes underneath to elevate that even more. Then we have a lot of green cone pieces for the tops of the roof. And then over here we have these 3 little tan buildings, which are connected to one of the sides. And they're supposed to represent like the teacher dormitory / Dumbledore's office. And they're kind of downsized, of course, for this set. But it's a nice little detail nonetheless. So, the bottom floor of this set, or this section, is the Slytherin common room. And right here at this table, we have 2 chairs in black. And then this table is made out of green, of course, for the Slytherin colors. And there is a little Quibbler print on it, which comes from the 4th movie about when they were attacking Harry. And there's a little glass, and then in the back we do have this Slytherin tile stickered on, and then 2 snakes plus a torch in the middle, which just adds a bit more detail. So the next part, we have a spider on the floor, and then we have this little rotating thing here. So this knight, which is actually a minifigure, stands. He has a sword and a few armor. It's supposed to represent those knights in Hogwarts that come alive. but this whole thing can rotate around. And in the back, I don't know where the book is, but there's supposed to be a black book here, which is supposed to represent Tom Riddle's diary. I'm sorry that's not there, but if you can look it up and see it. So the next part is the Gryffindor common room. So it's kind of similar to the Slytherin one, but they have red chairs here. And the same table, but with the Marauders map on it. A nice little piece there. And in the back, we actually have a fireplace. And that's just where this little play feature comes. You can see there's all Gryffindor banner printed up there. But if you push out the thing in the front, it will actually push out another sticker, which you can kind of see has Sirius Black's face on it. Well, maybe if I take a few parts out, you could kind of see Sirius Black's face in the fire, which he uses to communicate with Harry, Ron, and Hermione, and several of the movies. So on the top area, we have a small little owl perch, which has Hedwig, an arrow, which is Ron family's owl, plus some white pieces, which I guess supposed to represent their poop. But yeah, it's a nice little secret hidden area and adds a bit more details and fun to the set. The third building in the set is the Great Hall, and you can see on the front we have this nice design for all the windows. So there's 5 sets of windows, a bunch of arches in between. Then on top of those, we have some cone pieces and smaller ones in between. And then if we go to the top, we have the roof, which is connected, you can see by a little clip up there. And you can see there's some cone pieces attached, and there's like a bigger one right here for a little small tower. It looks pretty nice, and then the roof has just some nice tiling to it and a lot of sand green. Inside the Great Hall, we'll start with the top. So there's 2 banners here, a Slytherin and Gryffindor one, which are printed with green, or not printed, stickers. And then we have this little chandelier with some white and orange pieces, which I guess is supposed to be the floating candles of the Great Hall. Then down in the area, I forgot to mention there's actually a door on the side here, a little arch over, and there's actually a bunch of these blue and orange transparent pieces, which are represent the stained glass of the Great Hall. But back to the inside, it's actually extended out a bit for these tables, which allows some room for you to add students in. And we have 2 of them. So one side we have this little cake piece here with some goblets, and then we have another side with a giant turkey here, plus a little dish in gold with some croissants and cherries. Then at the back we have some axes, as well as 2 chairs, and then an altar at the middle with candles either side, and you can place Dumbledore or McGonagall there to give her speech. And that last part of the castle is Dumbledore's office, and it is like pretty tall, but just kind of like a more wider size build. And you can see there's a door and a lot of windows on the sides, a couple more windows up here, and this part that comes out with more of those curved pieces. This nice little printed Hogwarts crest, and then the same roof mold used on the Gryffindor tower. We have actually a bat up on this little spectator area with these castle walls. And yeah, it looks pretty great. There's also a torch at the front, and yeah, of course that door that can open. So at the bottom here, we have this little staircase. I don't know why it's not focusing. So this staircase can rotate around, and it allows you to get up to the next floor. Well, we'll just kind of move it out of the way for now. There's some stickers at the side for famous wizards. And then we have this little table here, which has a sticker that says Seeker James Potter with 2 golden goblets, which is a pretty nice little detail for like the trophy room. And then on the other side of this first floor, we have a chest here. And in this chest is this nice little scroll piece printed. And then there's a little ruby in there. So nice little detail for that. And then the next floor, of course, is Dumbledore's office itself. So in the middle we have these 2 support pillars, and you can see his chair back there, pretty big chair with some green and gold on it. And we have a little table with a kind of crystal ball with a gold piece inside. Then this nice little piece printed, which has Mass Breakout at Azkaban printed on it, which is cool. And you put that table back now. And then on this side, we have this shelf here. So the shelf, we have some potion bottles, we have a frog on it. But if you take this part off, which you can, there's actually a fang in there, which is supposed to be the Basilisk fang. So reference to the movie Chamber of Secrets there. And then we have on the other side another one of those shelves, same exact design, a lot of potion bottles and stuff. And when you take off this, there's a letter inside of that. Who knows what that letter could be a reference to? There's just a lot of letters in Harry Potter that could be noteworthy. And then at the top, we have the Gryffindor sword, which is connected by a clip, and this is a silver sword piece, pretty cool. And then finally, you have this sorting hat, which is on top of this orange transparent piece, and it is a printed wizard hat with a little face on it, which is very cool. It's a nice little design for that face. And yeah, I think it's one of my favorite sorting hat designs. Of course, the new one is definitely better. This one was good for back in the day. This is probably one of my favorite Harry Potter sets. I know I just said that with the screen stack of previous couple weeks ago, but this is another one of my favorites. Just a great castle, so many great details and figures included. It was one of my white whale sets. I'm glad to have had it for so many years at this point. But yeah, I'm probably going to set a 9.5 out of 10. If you don't have this and you can find it for cheap, get it. You won't be disappointed. Even if you're not a Harry Potter fan, it's definitely just a great castle build. But mine just break easily, so you might want to take care of it a bit more than I did. Anyways, make sure to check out some of my other reviews on my channel. Subscribe, like, share. This definitely took a little while to do from such a big build. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.